Let me ask you something. What if the reason your relationships just feel so exhausting, the reason dating feels more like a job interview than anything else, the reason you can feel so deeply lonely even when you're texting someone around the clock? What if it's because the game itself is rigged? What if the problem isn't you at all, but the version of love you've been taught to chase?
I mean, you know the symptoms, right? It all starts with this endless carousel of options, swipe after swipe.
And that often leads to these vaguely defined connections that just never really seem to go anywhere concrete. And then, all too often, it ends with this, a sudden, silent disappearing act. If any of this feels familiar, trust me, you are so not alone.
So, in this explainer, we are going deep. We're going to compare the 13th century mystical fire of what's called Rumi's love with the fast, filtered, and honestly fragile nature of modern love. And maybe most importantly, we're going to lay out a real roadmap to stop suffering and actually start connecting. So, first things first, let's really unpack the problem. We're living inside a massive paradox. And frankly, it's causing a ton of pain. Just think about that for a second. We have more potential partners at our fingertips than any other generation in human history, yet feelings of isolation, of deep dissatisfaction are everywhere. It's kind of like starving to death while standing in the middle of a supermarket. So the real question is, why?
To really get the why, we have to look under the hood. We have to look at the psychological engine that's driving our modern dating experience. Because let's be real, it's not as simple as just bad luck. You see, the modern dating scene isn't truly about romance. It's more like a collision of all these different forces. You've got hyper-choice overload that just paralyzes us. You have all of our old attachment wounds subconsciously looking for familiar pain in new people. And it's our ego just negotiating terms and conditions instead of our heart making a genuine connection. This visualizes the neurological trap perfectly. A lot of dating apps are literally designed like slot machines. The swipe, that's you pulling the lever, full of anticipation. The match, ding, 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 that's the small payout, the reward. And then the cycle just repeats, conditioning our brains to seek the thrill of the chase way more than the actual substance of a connection. And this isn't just some fun analogy, you know? It's a well-documented psychological principle. Intermittent reinforcement, getting a reward sometimes, but totally unpredictably, is the most powerful way to hook a brain. So you stop craving the person and you get addicted to the possibility of the next reward. And that is why ghosting can feel so uniquely awful. A clear no, that's a closed loop. Your brain can process it. But ghosting, it leaves that loop wide open. Your brain just keeps looking for that resolution, for that reward it was waiting for, and you're just left in this state of constant, low-grade anxiety. Okay, so that's the problem. And I know, it can feel pretty bleak, but what's the alternative? Well, for that, let's travel way back to the 13th century and meet the mystic and poet Rumi to see how he built a completely different foundation for love. Just let that sink in for a minute. This one quote completely flips the entire script of modern dating on its head. The work isn't out there hunting for the perfect person. The real work is in here, inside of you. So here's the difference in a nutshell. Modern love is this external quest, right? You're basically a consumer shopping for a product that fits all your needs. But Rumi's love, that's an internal excavation. You're like an archaeologist clearing away all the debris that's blocking the love that's already part of you. This really gets to the core of it. The entire focus shifts. Modern love is a transaction. What do you bring to the table? What are your stats? It's basically a resume evaluation with some flirting thrown in. Rumi's love is about transcendence. It sees connection not as a contract to be negotiated, but as a doorway to something much, much bigger than the two of you. Now, this is the foundation of soul love. It's not about finding someone else to make you feel whole. It is about realizing that you are already whole. You are already the entire ocean.
You start connecting from a place of fullness, not a place of emptiness.
Now, I know this all sounds great in theory, but how do we actually do it? How do we go from this transactional mindset to a transformational one? Okay, let's get practical and look at the actual steps for a new way forward. All right, this is your roadmap, and it starts with a detox. Step 1, take a break. A real break from that dopamine loop of the apps and the endless talking stages. Let your nervous system actually heal. Step 2, become a detective of your own history. What patterns keep showing up for you? Your past is basically a report card on what needs your attention. Step 3, build a life that is so rich and so full on its own that a partner becomes a wonderful addition, not a desperate necessity. And finally, step 4, slow down. Just slow it all down. Consciously choose to prioritize a person's character and their consistency over that initial and often really misleading spark of chemistry.
This right here captures the ultimate mindset shift. Are you out there looking for someone to fill a void, to complete you? Or are you doing the work to become whole yourself so you can meet another whole person and build something really incredible together?
So, here's the final takeaway. You can throw away all those books on dating tips and tricks. The real work, the path to a truly profound connection, isn't about becoming a better performer in the dating game. It's about becoming more aware of yourself, because love isn't a prize you go out and find. It's a state you uncover from within. And that's really the question to sit with. When you really look at your actions, your thoughts, your anxieties around connection, which game are you actually playing? The answer to that question reveals the entire path forward.